And you join us here at the BBC Radio Theatre, and I'm with half of Coldplay right now. We've got Guy, we've got Johnny. How are you both?
We're very well,
thanks, Joe.
Looking forward to the show tonight?
Yeah, very much so. You?
Bit shocking if you said no. But this is, I mean, how do you feel being sat here and looking around your surroundings?
Oh, it's a great room. I think it's, it's a great way to end the year, really, with some live music. So, yeah, we're excited about it.
Excellent. Well, I've got a ton of questions here to get through, so
Okay.
we're just going to rattle through these. Rima on email says, why are you called Coldplay? She doesn't know. Probably a lot of people don't.
We did have a different name, and it was a terrible name. So
That terrible name being...
Starfish.
Some might say
Oh,
Coldplay.
yeah, that one, I remember that.
Some might say Coldplay is a terrible
Yeah,
name.
maybe. Yeah, they might be right. But it's the name we got stuck with because we decided one night that we needed a different one, and that was the one we hit upon.
Okay, there you go. Chris Rotundo on Twitter says, your next album isn't really your last, is it? Because there are all kinds of stories and people are getting quite scared that maybe you're calling it a day.
No, I don't. Well, who knows? Who knows? I think we have to, in order to, throw everything into what we're doing, we need to sort of have that mindset, It's like running a marathon or something. You need to have an end goal. But, I mean, who knows? I don't think we ever really want to split up or anything, but I think it will certainly be the end of a chapter. And whatever we do after it, if we do anything after it, will be, in a different mindset, I think.
And how long have you known that this is the end of this chapter? Was it before the last album, before Ghost Stories?
About 4 days.
When Chris opened his mouth.
Well, no, I think, when we sort of were writing and recording Ghost Stories, we always had this album in mind as well. And it was always going to be Ghost Stories and then A Head Full of Dreams.
Okay, and how do they work together? Why do they complement each other? What's the concept?
I suppose Ghost Stories was like the night before the day, I think. So, but I'm not sure how that will quite translate.
So the next album is the dawning of a new day and a celebration of a day, I guess.
Yes, I think you put that very well.
Yeah.
I'll use that.
Yeah, please do, with my blessing. Okay, so possibly last album, possibly not. Freya asks, how do you come up with the titles for your albums? Is there a board? Is there is it in the studio? Do you have lots of working titles?
Well, interesting. I think I think the title of the album is it's usually one of the first things that happens before anything else. Actually, it just provides a framework for us to work into. How we come up with them, I don't know. It's usually a song title, but not always.
And is it a group decision? Do you have various options and then you'll all chip in and say which
not
one
really.
you like?
I think Chris usually is the album title man.
Okay.
Yeah, usually we all agree on one by a certain stage.
They're usually quite good though, aren't they? I mean,
Well,
Ghost
thank
Stories
you.
works. Head Full of Dreams kind of works. Mim's email to us, do you write your lyrics to songs? What's the process, I think she wants to know, or he wants to know, of where the lyrics work with the songs? How does it all come together?
In many different ways. It can... sometimes Chris will have a full set of lyrics, or sometimes Johnny will have a guitar riff, and I think now more than ever, songs come from lots of different beginnings. So there isn't one answer to that, really.
Okay. Coca Loco tweeted to ask, what's your favourite Christmas song? There you go. Different kind of tack. What's the one that makes you tingle when you hear it on the radio? You're like, oh, I just feel so Christmassy now.
It's not Christmas till Slade's been on, is it?
You're a Slade man.
I haven't heard that yet,
Haven't
actually.
you?
No, have you?
I think it was December the 1st I heard that.
Oh, God, I think it was November the 1st that I heard that one.
I think Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is probably the best Christmas song of all time.
The ultimate one.
Haven't heard Shakin' Stevens for a while.
Do you know what? That came on the radio. I had to turn it off. I dived to turn it off the other day. That's my most loathed
Oh, you
Christmas
shouldn't have
song.
done that.
Sorry. I quite like Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas. That's always kind of works.
That's good.
Little Linz asks, what do you want for Christmas? Any heart's desires?
I need some new gloves. It's freezing now.
Yeah.
And my gloves got holes in.
Okay, so new gloves for you.
Yeah.
gloves are good as well. Yeah,
So you
I
can
don't
be
know, I'm
as
terrible.
rich and successful as you like, but you always need gloves.
Christmas presents, and I've got so much stuff in my house already. I'm
You
trying
quite
to
like
get rid
cars.
of
There
it.
must be some kind of a car part that you're secretly lusting
There's
after.
always car parts. Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Daniela asks, what do you do as a band? Do you celebrate Christmas together? Do you buy each other presents, or are you just way past that?
We're quite hard people to buy presents for, as you can probably tell.
We've never celebrated Christmas together, or actually on Christmas Day, because it's all quite family orientated.
We're quite often together on New Year's Eve, though.
Because you're doing a gig,
Yeah,
a show.
yeah.
Where are you playing this? Are you doing something this New Year's
No,
Eve?
we're not.
Night off! Yay! So you're going to be as far away from each other as you possibly can.
Probably on different sides of the planet.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone called Head Full of Dreams asks, if you could switch roles with another member of the band, which would you pick and why? So, Johnny, who would you like to be?
I'd like to be a good drummer. I think it's pretty cool to be a good drummer. So I'd probably
Do you have
switch.
rhythm? What are you like when it
I'm
comes
not
to the
very
drums?
good. I'm not very good. Will's very kind about me occasionally, but he's just being kind.
Patronising is the word.
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I think I'm a secretly I want to be a drummer.
And you can hide behind the drums as
Yeah,
well, can't
yeah,
you?
and
Which
sit
is a
down.
huge advantage.
Sit down for the whole gig.
Yeah. Guy?
I'll swap with Johnny for the day, just because I think a day in the life of Johnny would be very calm, very peaceful, and quite sort of zen-like.
Okay, what makes him blow? What makes him blow?
How do you
Johnny,
mean?
like erupt, get angry.
Oh,
Sorry.
nothing. Johnny is unshakable in the anger department.
Nothing shout. You don't shout it. What makes you shout? Come on.
The only thing that ever makes me shout is driving. When I drive,
A bit of road rage.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm trying to lose it. It's a terrible habit
It's
to get
terrible.
into.
I bet you seethe though. I can't imagine you actually shouting at anybody. You're just like,
internal anger.
yeah. Guy, what makes him shout?
I don't think I've ever heard him shout.
No, what makes you shout?
Oh, what makes me shout?
Yeah.
Oh, most things.
Yeah, where do we begin?
Yeah, most things. I can get very wound up about the smallest thing.
Sumaya says, do you sing your own songs in the shower? Have you ever been known to hum one of your songs? And what would it be?
Well,
Probably not.
no.
No.
Sonia asks, who would your dream collaboration be with and why? Who would you love to work with? Is there any guest
Gosh.
vocalist? And if you could replace Chris, if you could just take him out of the picture, and who would you like to have as your guest vocalist? See, this is where the band do split up.
Yeah, it's a really tricky question, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Who would we? I don't know.
Well, I think I love at the moment. I think London Grammar are amazing, and Sam Smith, he's amazing.
I had to work with Disclosure.
Disclosure, fantastic. There's a lot of great music around at the moment, and I know that's not really answering specifically the question that you've asked, but it's sort of the same thing, I guess. But I think there's some really great music around at the moment, which is really encouraging.
Yeah, I think it's been a very good year. Sam Smith, I can imagine working really well
Yeah.
with the band.
Yeah.
Johnny, anyone that you would yearn to have in the band?
It's like Tom Waits. I think it would be quite a different,
Tom Waits would be good.
different vibe.
Jason says, which members of Coldplay would be good in a quiz if you were going to go down the local?
Will extremely.
Johnny and Will, definitely.
Okay.
Will's Mr. Memory Man.
Yeah, but I
isn't
think
he?
as his wingman, you would just clean up.
Do you ever take part in quizzes? Are there any, or how do you know that he's good at quizzes?
He's just a sort of font of knowledge. He loves facts and factoids, and to the point where he's got this amazing retention. He can remember things he can remember the names of all the actors that would have ever been in Neighbours or
in
EastEnders
1985
or something. Just he sees something and he remembers it.
He's got a very strange brain, very strange large brain.
Yes.
What about karaoke? Have you ever been in a karaoke situation?
We've done karaoke.
Yes.
When we go to Tokyo, there's always karaoke going on there.
Okay, so what have you sung and what do you do?
What have you sung there, Johnny? You've been more than I have.
I once sang From Russia with Love, and I sang it. It was much harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's quite a deep tone,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. As soon as it started, I think I don't think I can do this. You did.
I did something once, but
Born to be Wild.
Yes.
Want to be wild.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
At least you can posture to that one.
I don't really remember doing it, but apparently I did.
Azil tweeted us to ask, do you have any pre-concert rituals? What happens in the 10 minutes before you walk out on stage, I guess?
There's nothing sort of too dramatic, really.
What's going on? How do you feel before you walk out, before you're doing a show?
I think we always feel really excited. I don't think the excitement ever wears off. You know, we have a bit of a kind of a sort of a group huddle, but you know, there isn't anything too fancy. There's not really meditation or.
So what happens in the huddle? Is it just, come on, guys, let's have a good show, that kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Just Chris just going, come on. Okay. And Shayla on Twitter, if you could choose a favourite Coldplay lyric, what would it be? Do you remember the words to any of your
I don't really
songs?
listen to them.
Kind of needed Chris here for that one. We'll move on from that. Alicia asks, do you like any of the lyrics that are in the Coldplay songs?
Does she
No,
really
she doesn't ask that. I'm asking you that. No, she asks, what's the best moment that you've experienced throughout your time together? That's a good question.
Well, I think Glastonbury's always a real
Yes.
standout moment for us.
Whether it's the
because
first time we ever played, or headlining, or
any
time
time
we've
it's
had
just
that,
we always just love being there, and it's amazing memories of of all the times we've played there, really.
Any chance you might be there this year?
Next year.
Next year, yeah,
yes.
obviously.
No, I
Next-
don't think so. I think we're going to be making the album.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
so, if
and
we'll be ready.
in terms of dates, live dates next year, are there plans? What's the situation?
I mean, we'd like to, at some point, do some, but
if
we've
anyone
gotta-
will have you.
But we got to finish. We got to finish the record first. So
Okay.
I think it kind of depends on when we finish.
Okay, and is there a deadline for when the album should be finished?
Tentatively, there is, but we can't really.
Our track record isn't all that
No.
good with deadlines.
Okay, so we might see it next year. Are you hoping it'll be out by the end of next year?
Yeah.
In an ideal world, it
We
would be
hope
great.
we always hope to finish it within about 2 weeks, but
Just if it happens.
happens.
Okay, thank you for talking to me. That's been lovely.
Oh,
Thank you very
thanks,
much.
Jo.
Thanks.